Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again. It's time for another Market Watch video. Today is actually July 28th, 2025. Didn't get a chance to record this yesterday on Sunday as I usually do. Had a very busy day yesterday, but let's get into episode number 33 of the Land Market Watch. And starting off with plots, as you can see here, over the last 2 weeks, we've had a lot of new plots available for sale over on Peak Monsters. We have been in that 26 to 2700 plot range for as long as I've been keeping track of it. Currently, we are over 3,450 plots for sale, so there are a lot more choices for you over on Peak Monsters for buying land plots and getting into land if you haven't yet already. So that is the first amount of big news as far as the Land Market Watch goes for the last 2 weeks. Currently, individual plots in the marketplace, there are 7 available for an even $60, up from $59 2 weeks ago. Over on Hive, one thing I want to point out, there's one plot, the cheapest plot is $68. This is for an unsurveyed plot. After that, the price almost doubles over on Hive. So if you're looking to buy a plot, you definitely want to check out the marketplace, not Hive, because the prices skyrocket from there. Tracks and regions, you guys know the drill, same thing. These two have been sitting there for months and months. 2 tracks for 11,750, and then the one region for almost 89,000. So nothing has changed there. The only thing that's really changed over the last few months is the individual plot prices. Remember when not too long ago, it seems like maybe 6, 8 months ago, these were like $25, $35 for an unsurveyed plot. Yep, now we're up to 60. And when the next phase of land comes out, if that includes the land cards, that'll draw a little bit more attention to land, get people more excited about it, and I expect this to go up even higher. So we'll see how long unsurveyed plots stay in the $60 range. Okay, let's move on to time crystals. So time crystals currently are just under 78 DEC each in game. Last time they were at almost 78 and a half. If you buy these directly from the Splinterlands website, they are 100 DEC each if you buy them in the store. So you want to buy them from players, and you can get over a 20% discount. Totem fragments, common totem fragments have stayed the same for the last 2 weeks, still sitting at $1.44. Rare totem fragments have moved up from $6.99 to $7.49. Epic totem fragments have come up from $34 to $38.80. But legendary totem fragments fell a little bit from $174 a piece to $168. Now, if you're looking to buy complete totems, common totems will run you $13.60. Rare totems have moved up 2 weeks ago. They were $40. Now they are $60. There are 5 available. Epic totems will run you $249, and legendary totems $1,000. Totem claims, you can see not a whole lot of movement from 2 weeks ago. Common totem claims are $13.50. Rare totem claims $68. Epics $370. And then there are 2 legendary totem claims. Cheapest is $1,750. Okay, Land Baron. So if you wanted to just go into Peak Monsters and you wanted hey, I just want the 50 cheapest plots, how much is that going to run me? 2 weeks ago, it would have cost you $820. Currently, let me update this with the correct date. It will cost you $827.72, so just up slightly. You're still looking at about $16.50 per plot to be a land baron. If you want the cheapest of each resource, how much would that cost? If you wanted to get the cheapest grain plot, currently the cheapest one is $19. 2 weeks ago it was $18. Cheapest wood plot is still running at $15. Cheapest stone is $19.99, and there is one ore plot at $15. After that, it goes back to the price it was 2 weeks ago, $16 for the cheapest ore. All right, so let's move on now to the 5 cheapest land plots per rarity. So starting with common natural plots, 2 weeks ago, $15 to $17 range. You're basically in that same range currently. $15 plots in regions 13 and 53. $16 in regions 23 and 62, $16.75 in region 26, $16.90 in region 108, and then finally region 118 has 3 forests for $16.99 each. Moving on to your rare natural plots. 2 weeks ago, $25 to $30 range. Currently, the cheapest one is in region 23, 2 swamps for $25 a piece. After that, it jumps from $25 almost to $30. There are still 29 plots available in region 85. He has forests, swamps, and a lot of tundras. So if you're looking to get a lot of rares in the same zone, definitely check out region 85. After that, even $30 in regions 85 and 115, $34 in region 134, and then $35 rare natural plots in regions 26, 39, and 120. And the ones in region 26 are all plains. So if you're looking to get a bunch of rare grain producing plots in the same zone, same region, you definitely want to check out region number 26. Okay, moving on to epic natural plots. 2 weeks ago, $88 to $110. Currently, there are a couple right at $80 in regions 72 and 141. There is a plot in region 13 for $86, a plot in region 23 for $99, and then finally another plot in region 23 as well for $110 for an epic natural. And then moving on to your legendaries, 2 weeks ago the cheapest one was $545. Currently the cheapest is $750 in region 135. That's for a jungle. Region 95 has a bog for $795, so that is a grain producing plot. Region number 1 has a river for $799, that is grain as well. Region 72 has a hills for $800, and then finally region 60 has a tundra for $825. Okay, moving on to magical plots. So your cheapest common magical plot 2 weeks ago was $35. Currently, the cheapest one is still $35. This is the only one available at that price. It is an earth magical plot in region 28. This is also a river, so you can use this for producing magical resources when that phase of land becomes available. Otherwise, currently you could use that to produce grain. Region 85 has water magic for $37.90. Region 85 that still has 27 various magical types, all in the same region, of course. 85 for $38 a piece, $40 in regions 8 and 97, and then it jumps from 40 all the way to 49 in regions 8 and regions 115. Moving to rare magical, $59 to $80 was the price 2 weeks ago. Now you're looking at $56 is the cheapest in region 136, $60 for plots in region 7 and 93. Region 115 has a death plot for $64, and then dragon magic plot for $69. And region 39 has 2 death magical plots for $80 a piece. Okay, moving on to your epic magical plots. I believe I mentioned this 2 weeks ago when I saw that one for $202 and then it jumped to $270. I didn't expect that $202 to last very long. Yep, it is gone. So now your cheapest is $270 in region 39. He has 1 death and 1 fire plot available. Region 102 is earth magic for $275. Region 28 has an earth plot for $360. Region 97 is an earth plot for $369. And then finally, if you're looking for death magic, check out region 14. That will cost you $500. And then as it's been for the last, 2 months now, there are no magical legendary plots for sale on the marketplace. Okay, let's move on to occupied plots. So occupied last time were 84 to 104 or 109 range. Currently $76 in regions 27 and 136. $78.95 in region 112, $80 in region 72, and $88 in region 85. He has 8 common occupied available in that region. Okay, moving on to rares. So 2 weeks ago, 210 up to 5,000. These are the only rare occupied on the marketplace. Currently, you can find a few under $200. There is one in region 120 for $190, one in region 91 for $195, one region 132 has one for $199. Region 134 has a rare occupied for $210, and then region 7 has a rare occupied for $225. And once again, check out the types for these as well. So the river, the lake, and the bog are grain producing as well. Epic occupied, last time 700 to 1250. Same this week as 2 weeks ago. The only difference is region 91 lowered their price from $700 down to $650. That is a lake. So once again, that is a grain producing plot, even though it is also occupied. Region 5 has a swamp for $1,100, and Region 26 has a tundra for $1,250. Then, of course, your ultimate occupied plots, the legendary ones, the super rare. 2 weeks ago, there were 2 plots available. One was $19.95, the other's $3,900. The $3,900 plot either sold or was taken down because currently the only one available is the one in Region 80 for $1,995. Okay, moving on to keeps. So still a decent amount of keeps on the marketplace. Last time, $9.99 to $13.75. Basically the same this week. I think there was only one keep that sold. So you still have Region 44 with a keep for $9.99. Region 80 has a keep for $1,199. Region 85 has 2 keeps for $1,250 apiece. Region 44 has another keep. This one is $13.75. Not sure why the difference. You know, if he's just trying to get some funds, why there's such a big price difference for the same region. I'm assuming it's the same owner. I should check to see if it's different owners. And then finally, Region 39 has a keep for $1,400. Then finally, as far as plots go for castles, last time, $8,450 for the castle in Region 133. That is still available, but he raised his price from $8,450 up to $9,500. So this is the only castle currently available on the marketplace. And then let's look at trade swaps. So if you wanted to spend 1 DEC in game, how much of each resource could you get? For grain, 2 weeks ago you could have gotten 102.2 grain per DEC. Now it's down to just over 99. Iron went from just a little over 3 to 3.1 iron. Stone moved up a bit. So 2 weeks ago you would have got 7.1 stone. Now you would get over 8 stone per DEC. But the big movement over the last month has been wood. 2 weeks ago you would have gotten 30.5 wood per DEC, and the time before that I remember it was like 39. I think it was 39.5 wood. Currently, you're only getting 26 wood per DEC, so there's been a lot of movement on the wood market. And then finally for this episode, let's look at the different land items in the game. So currently there are 4 items you can produce with land. Midnight Potions, they move down from 2.5 cents down to 1.8 cents a piece. Fortune Tickets, for some reason they moved up from 56 cents to 71 cents. Of course, in a couple of days, we're going to be able to use these fortune tickets to try to get those gold arcane pickles. Auction marks have moved up from $2 to $2.34. And the big movement this week, I think, look at wagon kits. Wagon kits were $5.09. You know, they have been in the low 5s. Currently, they're over $6. So $6.10 is the cheapest wagon kit currently. Also to note with fortune tickets, I know when I did my video a few days ago, there was only, what was there? For a while, there was only a couple thousand fortune tickets that were created in total, and I think now we're over 5,000. So I know a lot more tickets are going to be produced, but still, for the price of the ticket and the item that you could win, I still think fortune tickets are extremely undervalued. But time will tell. We'll see how many are used for each of the 50 drawings, but I'm very much still keeping my eye on the fortune ticket price, as you guys know. Okay, guys, that's it for this week's episode of the Land Market Watch. This is episode 33. Of course, this weekend we'll be doing the deep dive into the card market. So the Card Market Watch should be up this coming Sunday. So thank you guys for all the support. As always, if there's any topics you would like me to cover, please leave a comment. I will try to make a video, answer your question as quickly as I can. And until next time, stay the course, keep on forging, have fun. Get your tickets. That pickle is coming soon. Good luck. Hopefully you guys can get one. Take care.